Welcome back, everybody. We hope you're having a great week. Hope you're putting the work in this week so you can be even better next week. We here at Paradigm are about to talk about chapter 9 from David Goggins' book Can't Hurt Me, titled the chapter Uncommon Among Uncommon. So first things first, we'll talk about our favorite part and why. But before we jump into that, make sure you subscribe, like the video, leave a comment down below, and follow us on all our social media platforms. All the information will be down in the description below. David, what was your favorite part and why?
I have this highlighted part, and it really stuck out to me. Hop into it. I think it's page 284 in his book. David Goggins says, "Are you an experienced scuba diver? Great. Shed your gear. Take a deep breath and become a 100-foot free diver. Are you a badass triathlete? Cool. Learn how to rock climb. Are you enjoying a wildly successful career? Wonderful. Learn a new language or skill. Get a second degree. Always be willing to embrace ignorance and become the dumb fuck in the classroom again, because that is the only way to expand your body of knowledge and body of work. It's the only way to expand your mind." I really like that part. Talking about the whole complacency aspect of this chapter, I think that paragraph sort of put it into perspective of like what we should do when we feel like we've accomplished something. It's good to accomplish and it's good to feel proud of what you've accomplished, but to continuously expand your mind, you got to be willing to be that person who's a student again. Mm-hmm. I really, really like that idea.
Oh, yeah, definitely like that too.
I agree. Yeah, that's a big part.
Big part.
I think when people stop learning is when that switch changes. Like Waka's 62, right? Yeah. He looks great. But the people that are like, yeah, I know everything that I need to know, it starts going downhill.
Yeah. Totally. And I wish it was that simple. I wish we could all identify the things that like start to kick in to where we start to I guess we could identify complacency easier, but it's not that easy. Like,
kind of hard.
You got your cell phone, you have family, you might have kids,
right?
You might have school, you might have work, and then you get to a specific time in your life where maybe you developed your career. Do you want to do some of that stuff over again? Not really. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so it's understandable, but I think it's harder to identify than what David Goggins makes it seem. But again, I think that's what pushes us.
Yeah. How about you, John? What was your favorite part and why?
Yeah, so my favorite part, just to give it some context, is that he just got back from Army Ranger School, and he was put in charge of his new platoon's PT, okay? They don't like his PT that he's doing. They think it's too much, and they end up opting out of it. And then from then on, he has this feeling of, like, disgust that they don't want to push as hard as he does. And then he states, he goes, I never woke up to realize that my disappointment was my own problem, not my teammates' fault. I think sometimes when people or you as a person start trying to like push themselves and you feel like you're doing more than other people, and you're like, why aren't you guys doing this? Why aren't you trying to be healthy? Why aren't you trying to read books? Or like whatever. Like, why aren't you trying as much as I'm trying? It's not your fault, it's not their fault, it's your fault. Like, why do you feel like people need to do what you're doing,
Yeah.
So I don't know, it just rang bells in my head. I liked it.
Yeah,
definitely.
That's a good one.
How about you, Dave?
I just highlighted a section. He starts with all of us can be the person who flies all day and night only to arrive home to a filthy house, and instead of blaming family or roommates, cleans it up right then because they refuse to ignore duties undone. All over the world, amazing human beings like that exist. It doesn't take wearing a uniform. It's not about all the hard schools they graduated from, all the patches and medals. It's about wanting it like there's no tomorrow, because there might not be. I like how he throws going into a great school, getting medals and getting honored at a prestigious reward centers or whatever ceremonies, to cleaning your house when you get off late at night. It's that simple, but so many people make it so complicated to where if you're making a lot of money, maybe you don't have to do the little deeds at home. You can have someone else do that. Right. But what's the point of all this in life anyways? You know what I mean? How you carry yourself one way is how you carry yourself in every way of life. So that's why, like, one example to me is like, if someone has a messy car, 100% guaranteed they have a messy house.
Mm.
You know what I mean? That's how I view this statement: is how you do anything in life is how you do everything. It's not just how you get through school. It's what do you do when you get off work? Are you going to crash? Are you still at it? Are you not still at it, but are you taking care of your house? If you have animals, are you responsible? So it's everything combined. But I definitely like that statement, and it's not just about medals and graduating from
Yeah.
prestigious schools. Like, you got regular life to think about too.
Oh yeah, yeah, that should apply in all aspects.
Yeah.
So mine is that same paragraph right above it. It says, it's on page 278. No matter who you are, life will present you similar opportunities where you can prove to be uncommon. There are people in all walks of life who relish those moments. And when I see them, I recognize them immediately because they are usually that motherfucker who is all by himself. It's the suit who's still at the office at midnight while everyone else is at the bar, or the badass who hits the gym directly after coming off a 48-hour op. She's the wildland firefighter who, instead of hitting her bedroll, sharpens her chainsaw after working a fire for 24 hours. That mentality is there for all of us: man, woman, straight, gay, black, white, or purple fucking polka dot. And I thought that was really interesting because, you know, I think it's a majority of people who'd be like, man, I just worked 48 hours. Let me go home and go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just worked a fire for 24 hours. Let me go home and go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the person who's like, he describes, oh, I just worked for 48 hours. I've hit the gym in 48 hours. It's time to go hit the gym after being up for 48 straight hours. And that's being uncommon amongst uncommon people, right? Not only are they badasses who are doing 48-hour special operations, but then there's the badass of the badass group who goes straight to the gym afterward and goes straight into a 2-hour workout, you know? So I describe here, I believe this gives us a clear definition of what being uncommon among uncommon is. And it inspires me to desire this for myself in certain aspects of my life. So that's why it was my favorite part. I think it was a big thing, and many of us have that opportunity and recognize it, right? There's some people that are like even just on my own field trips, it'd be, okay, we're gonna go do this scramble just cause. Who wants to do it? Nobody really wants to do it. That's the opportunity to become uncommon among uncommon people.
Yeah.
Recognizing that and then pursuing it
Mm-hmm.
and doing it to your fullest extent. So that's what I'm going to start trying to do in my own life, and I'll talk about that later in our podcast. But it just stood out to me, and I really enjoyed it. So.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
All
That was a
right.
great summary too.
So we'll jump right into a summary of chapter 9. This chapter primarily focuses on David's enlistment as a ranger and his distinguished military service. David notes that Ranger School was so demanding and the standards were so high that only 96 men graduated out of a class of 308 candidates. The training program was so excruciating that David and his colleagues lost numerous pounds during the training, 46 to be exact on what David lost. And they came out looking emaciated. On his graduation from the Ranger training program, David was awarded the Enlisted Honor Man for his excellent performance. Additionally, David's classmates gave him 100% on his peer evaluation, which David considered very highly, as it meant that his classmates had faith in him as a professional. Later on, David decided to join Delta, which was an elite Army outfit. That Delta selection was rigorous as it required passing an IQ test, a complete military resume, including qualifications and war experience and evaluations. David notes that what surprised him at the Delta training was that there was no screaming or yelling. Also, there were no IOCs, initial operating capabilities, and all the soldiers that enlisted were self-starters who were expected to follow their orders as chalked on the boards in the training ground. David believes that Delta selection is the best orienteering course in the world, as recruits are taught advanced land navigation skills that include even drawing their own topographic maps. As David was about to finish his Delta training, he burst his ankle, and he was apprehensive that he would be thrown out of the program. However, he was told to recover and come back if he wanted. Which brings us to challenge number 9.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Jay,
sir.
for that. We got a little bit of a brief summary this week for all the viewers out there. But hopping into challenge 9. So Starts out by saying, "This one's for the unusual motherfuckers in this world. A lot of people think that once they reach a certain level of status, respect, or success, that they've made it in life. I'm here to tell you that you always have to find more. Greatness is not something that if you meet it once, it stays with you forever. That shit evaporates like a flash of oil in a hot pan. If you truly want to become uncommon amongst the uncommon, it will require sustaining greatness for a long period of time. It requires staying in constant pursuit and putting out unending effort. This may sound appealing, but will require everything you have to give and then some. Believe me, this is not for everyone because it will demand singular focus and may upset the balance in your life. That's what it takes to become a true overachiever. And if you are already surrounded by people who are at the top of their game, what are you trying to do differently to stand out? It's easy to stand out amongst everyday people and be a big fish in a small pond. It is a much more difficult task when you are a wolf surrounded by wolves. This means not only getting into Wharton Business School, but being ranked #1 in your class. It means not just graduating buds, but becoming enlisted honor man in Army Ranger School, then going out and finishing Badwater. So torch the complacency you feel gathering around you, your coworkers and teammates in that rare air. Continue to put obstacles in front of yourself because that's where you'll find the friction that will help you grow even stronger. Before you know it, you will stand alone.
Hell yeah. So I kind of we broke down this challenge into 5 questions. And so we'll break them down. The first question is this mindset for us? Second is, am I surrounded by people at the top of their game? And if not, how can I find people at the top of their game? Number 3, how can I torch complacency? 4, what obstacle can I put in front of me to grow stronger? So it's actually just 4.
Yeah.
So we'll start with 1 and then we'll make our way around.
Cool.
Is this mindset for me? So I'll start first. I believe this mindset can be used for me in some aspects, right? So I think there's a time and a place for being uncommon among uncommon people. It can be intimidating or off-putting to some people in certain circles, right? So when it comes to it's just a matter of what circle do you want to be uncommon amongst uncommon, right?
Right.
So for me, where do I want to be uncommon amongst uncommon people is in geology, right? Grad students are already a subset of students in geology, right? So we're uncommon. There's maybe 12 of us in this new class, 12 of us in a class of 100, right? That is undergrad students and grad altogether. So there's 112 people, 12 of them are grad students. So it's already a subset. So we're uncommon. So to be uncommon amongst the uncommon is to study harder, is to, when asked, hey, I'm doing a mapping exercise this upcoming weekend, I need extra help. Anybody up for it? Standing up and being like me, right?
Yeah.
There's how can I stand out in my own research, right? Because I have my own subset, which is even smaller group of people, 4 people under Wakabayashi, right, that are studying metamorphic petrology. How do I stand out in that group? Going hard in the field, right? For me, being uncommon among uncommon already in Waka's undergrad class was being the first ones out in the field and being the last ones in, right? And so I've done that, but now I need to apply that in master's field research. So I plan on getting out there this winter break, getting out there maybe 1 or 2 times before that, and being vigorous about it. I want to go back to Waka and have him be like, whoa, you know?
Yeah.
So that's where the mindset can be applied for me. I think another one was this past week, we have an app called Map My Run, where you can see what other people have been running, right?
Mm-hmm.
And competition, I think, can be good, right? Because I kept watching yours, right? Because you went from, it was like 12, then you went 14, then you went 16 point something, and I was like, oh man, he's trying to gain on me. He's trying to put some space on me, right? So then I was like, I'm gonna go hit 5 miles at Hospitality Point, where David Goggins ran 24 hours, 19 hours and 6 minutes, and completed 101 miles, right? I saw the 7-foot incline, and I was like, God damn, he wasn't lying. This thing is it's just a sharp turn up, you know? So I went and I ran 5 miles, And then I put up just like 2 miles over David, and he ran 2 point something. He got over me just a little bit. I was like, all right. And then the next day I went and ran a 10K in my girlfriend's parents' neighborhood. I went and ran a 10K. I was like, I'm gonna put 6 miles on the board. And then so I got to 23.68 miles. And then I was like watching David. I was like, is he gonna run? Is he gonna run? Like, what's he gonna do? I think it was just there was a healthy balance of competitiveness, like an ultra. We both want to see each other succeed, but we want to beat the other person, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's what's cool about this app is like, I know John probably ran like 100 miles this week, right? But like seeing the other person that I could be like, okay, I got to beat that. And then he beats it. I got to beat that. And then you got to beat. And so it's just creating, because honestly, if I even look back a couple years ago and be like, yeah, you're going to run 23 miles this week in a couple weeks, a year from now. Like, what? What are you talking about, bro? I thought I said you're running no damn 23 miles. So I think that mindset comes in with running, climbing. I have bets going on with climbing and geology. So I won't take too much more time, but that's where I'm going to be instituting that. So whoever would like to go next.
This is question 1 still, right?
Right. Is this mindset for you?
Go ahead, Dev.
Absolutely. I feel like I identified this around 2019 when I just kept hanging around the same groups in high school too. Like I would get around people that just weren't really. I think I identified it in 2019 as drinking, going out, part like every weekend, every other weekend, in the middle of the week, and so it just led to this point of my life where I was like, I need to take myself more serious because no one else will. So I leaned into my introversy or my introvert capability because I taught myself how to produce music. I taught myself how to engineer just all on my own in my room at an apartment. You know what I mean? So I just looked at that and I looked at what I was doing with my life, and I was just more of like, I can change if I really want to, right? Physically, mentally, spiritually, anything. Like I can teach myself anything. We live in an information system right now, an information age. So I think this mindset is for me. Like how you said, it's not for every aspect. I think the biggest part I would not apply this mindset is to my social life. Is where I'm not trying to compete and be the best looking, the best talking, the best. To me, it's like I just want to be me and enjoy my life. You know what I mean? But when it comes to physical, intellectual capabilities, I definitely want to push. Those are my 2 biggest, like, because high school was hard for me. And I didn't go through college all the way. So it feels like I somewhat failed myself in my life a little bit already. But I have the capabilities because I've recognized how much I've learned through trading and music production and all these things that I've just taught myself on my own. So I'm capable of it. I just need to find something that I'm willing to harness, like what we're doing here. Like I take this very seriously.
Right.
I take my physical health very seriously. So I need to find something that I need that intellectual capability that's going to be like, I really enjoy this and I'm going to take it very serious.
If you were to think about, so you said physical and intellectual, right?
Mm-hmm.
Physically, how would you embrace this mindset?
So I kind of, me and David kind of were talking about this. I've started to recognize that I'm plateauing at my weight and at my, I guess my muscle gain. And David brought to my attention, like David, what is it? Dana and Bailey.
Yeah, the workout I was doing, John.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dana and Bailey, by the way.
Yeah. And so I was looking at the workouts and I was like, holy, like this is crazy. And I was like, I think I need to incorporate something like that in my workout, because if I'm able to recognize I'm plateauing, what am I doing about it? Okay. You know what I mean? Like, what am I change? Something needs to be changing. And so I think that's a good implementation. And also just getting uncomfortable with how many reps I'm doing or how much weight I'm doing. Just trying new things out, putting more time into learning new exercises.
Yeah. Have you heard of RPERIR?
No.
Research that. No. That'll really.
Well, you got to tag RPERIR.
Boy out here just said the alphabet. Like, I know what that is.
So it's a rate of perceived exertion and reps in reserve. So you research that and you'll
text in the group.
Yeah.
I will text in the group. So yeah, that's my physical, and then intellectual.
How would you institute that mindset?
I think just looking at what I've been wanting to do with not only coding, but I'm also finding myself like I'm not really intrigued with coding to be like I want to spend all like learning about it and studying it. One thing I have found myself like really intrigued with and really spending a lot of hours like studying and reading about is cybersecurity.
Cybersecurity.
That's something that's like I think I found something that I really want to harness and really want to go down that path. And as a career, I think that's one area that I'm lacking right now is something that if it's a title, if it's a label, whatever, I feel like just in my own personal belief, I need a title, I need a career, I need something if I'm trying to be a quote unquote high value person in this society. I think I need to hit all parameters and not just be like I'm physically fit and I know about financial, you know what I mean? Financial literacy, you know what I mean? So I think I need to just continue to hit parameters and continue to grow through the stages of life.
Okay.
And so that testing my intellectual capabilities, coding is a little bit is rougher than cybersecurity. So that may be my path down into coding and learning Python and the crazy like because it is pretty wild. And so I think cybersecurity it's a good. I enjoy. I love studying it. I love watching movies on it and
good jobs in it too.
So IT, tech, and all that. So
hell yeah.
The mindset is definitely for me, but like you said, I wouldn't.
Certain aspects.
I don't apply it everywhere in my life.
All righty. How about you, John? Is this mindset for you?
To be uncommon amongst uncommon people, right?
Right.
Yeah. I would like to think that I try to push myself and I want to be better than what I'm competing against. I think I'm a pretty competitive person, I tend to make things competitive sometimes if they're not meant to be. Like you running against David. You guys maybe didn't openly say, hey, we're competing, but like you see his numbers. You want to one up it just because you respect him and you also want to show like, hey, look, I can also run. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like that. So I think I would say it's for me. Yeah.
Okay. So in what aspect in your life would you apply it?
Or do you?
I don't know, to be honest. It kind of draws into other questions, but I've been thinking to myself as like, am I even around uncommon people? I've been thinking about work and like my friends and stuff. And I think my friends are uncommon in some areas of life, but not necessarily like the ones that we're talking about right now. School, socially, not many teachers are trying to be uncommon in anything,
Yeah.
So I would say you've instituted it in a way because how many people out of the general population are high school teachers? So that's being uncommon. And not only that, you're setting yourself apart by establishing relationships with the kids, right? I mean, you're skating. Right. You're giving them the extra time they need to do X, Y, and Z to become better. So I think you may be doing it kind of underneath the radar in your own brain, maybe, because it is uncommon to be a high school teacher. I don't know very many people that have the patience or desire to do it.
That's true.
Especially a young teacher like yourself,
True. So I don't know, like I like working out. I like pushing. So I would say yes.
Okay.
I would say yes too for you, just because you are very competitive.
Yeah. In a good way.
Yeah.
How about you, David?
Yeah. Is this mindset for me? Of course it's for me. I think I really like trying to achieve, greatness. And when the people around me are at a certain level of achievement, I'm trying to compete always, not in like a self pride way, just like collectively I want us to all push ourselves. So if I can do this, then I can also let other people know, like, you can do the same thing. There's no difference between you and me, So yeah, I think that mindset is for me.
Hell yeah. All right. We'll move into question 2. Are you surrounded by people at the top of their game? Pick one lane in your life and analyze that. If not, how can I find people? How can you find people at the top of their game? Because if we think about it, you are the product of your 5 closest people, right? In whatever field that is. Think about that field, and are you surrounded by the people at the top of their game?
In a specific part of your life.
Right. So I can start. I'll say at school, I'm not, right? There's some people that really want to be uncommon and want to be really, really great, right? But they're kind of hard to connect to, right? Because they I don't know if it's, I couldn't speak for them, but I think they'd probably want to desire that from they'd want that same desire from people they're associating or spending their time with. I'd say the people that I've gone to school with, yes, they want to be great, but how hard and how much suffering are you willing to go through to get to that point? Right. And so I'm starting to notice that around myself. And so the people that want to be mediocre, there's nothing wrong with, periodically hanging out with that. But like he said, it's anybody can be a big fish in a small pond, right? So look for the big pond or an even smaller pond where there's there's sharks in that thing. You know what I mean? And so I'm looking around and I see few people in the grad program that want to be sharks. And so Waka's a shark, right? Waka's a great white shark. And I'd say Aurora is a shark. She's very, very intelligent and knows her stuff, right? So I would say spending more time with them and trying to locate other sharks in their own ponds. So I currently don't know, right? Just Waka and Aurora are the people that I can think that really want to be sharks and it's not just about a grade, but taking ownership of what they do and becoming great at it. I can think of very few people that are doing that in my lane that I want to really surround myself with and know that if you're not living up, you're going to get torn to shreds because, you know what I mean? Fish are food, not friends. And so for myself, I currently am not surrounded by people that are at the top of their game. There's few of them that are, and I need to spend more time with them and learn from them and get that aspect of I want to be a shark and what it takes to be that.
Gotcha.
See, on that note, that's why I was bringing up, I was thinking about it, talking about like the small pond thing, the teachers. Okay, it's not that hard to stick out when most teachers are women and you're a male. Also, I'm the welding teacher, so like it's just I'm like Tigger, I'm like the only one of my kind. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's not that hard to stick. It's not that hard to stick out. It's not like anyone else tries, and so I don't know about that part. So that's why I'm having a hard time. I'm with you, Jay. I don't think I'm hanging out with people that are like the cream of the crop. You know what I'm saying? Because we're all in different lanes. I will say this though, that one of my friends, we were talking and he had kind of mentioned he wanted change and wanted to be maybe switch career paths or do more things. So one thing is I sent him the book we're reading right now, send it to his house. That way because he's like, maybe I'll read it after you. So I just sent it to him. I was like, you can read it like right now, dude, Right. And then like I've started a group chat with me and my buddy, Andrew, who always talk about stocks anyway. I added Pat into it, my friend. Yeah. That way, like he's along with the talk. So like if we're talking about stocks every day, like he's getting it. And like just recently he's been texting, he's like, I'm doing this for a scalp. I'm doing this. I'm like, okay, I fuck with that. Like, I like where your head's at. So maybe I'm trying to like get people like-minded to be talking to that so we can get better together. Maybe if I don't have that, I'm trying to look for something like that, right? So on that aspect of like my friends and stuff, I'm trying to make that happen for myself because if you're better, if your friends are better, it goes both ways.
Right.
Definitely.
Oh yeah. Then it sounds like you may even need to build your own pond,
Build your own community.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, where do I go? I don't know. I'm thinking about like my career path. The school system, like people can be great teachers, but also I'm not sure if I'm all about the whole politics thing of teachers,
Yeah.
So I like just being like the welding teacher, like having fun in class. I don't want to do the extra shit, like the politics wise. It's cool just being fun in welding class.
Yeah. All right. Who's next? Are you surrounded by the people at the top of their game? And if not, where would you find them?
I don't think so, especially with what I'm trying to do. It's really hard to find. I was for a little bit when it came to trading. Definitely when I was surrounded with Mauricio. He was a six-figure trader of his own money. Like he wasn't trading anybody else's money. And he still does to this day. He lives off his trading. He's building his own business and stuff again. But like his birthday's coming up, and so I'm going out there. We're going out to like hang out with him, and it's more of just. I don't think I am. I don't know. Not currently right now. No, I think I'm searching for that though. I'm searching to like move up the totem pole. Like me and David always have this discussion where we like the friend group we developed over time in high school, even sometimes now is like, I think we go through these phases of just wanting to kind of find that like the relax, you know what I mean? And you find whatever friend group you can kind of like hang out with in the time being. But I think I'm at a point in my life where I just want a friend group that understands my trading or understands like a different sense of community.
Yeah.
That's like it's hard to explain, you know what I mean? But I don't think
Desires being better.
yeah, I think mentally and physically wise, yes, because I feel like I'm doing that with you guys.
Mhm.
But when it comes to the intellectually, whatever I'm trying to achieve career wise or push myself further, like it's hard right now. I don't know what's slowing me down or what's stopping me, but that is a little hard. Maybe it's because I don't know enough, or maybe I'm not putting myself out there for a specific community, or maybe I'm not building my own community like John is. You know what I mean? Maybe I need to start there, but I know I'm not giving it 100% of my.
Just what I hear, Devin, is I think you just need to be more clear and precise on exactly what you want. You keep saying the word like more intellectually. Like to me, that's such a broad word. I don't even know what that means, really. You know?
So like when I'm talking like specifically talking about intellectually, it's more of my career or like my when think of college or like doing homework or you have to show up and do your assignments and do things like how we show up for this podcast. Right. We show up every Sunday. Jay has the summary. Like we have things that are set in stone. It does not take anything of our brains to think about how hard this is. Like we show up, we get it done. When I think of intellectually, I'm trying to think of how do I push myself further in a specific field in my
I know that that's what I'm saying. You're still being vague. How do I push myself further in a specific field to show up on time? It's like,
I guess
what is the specific field that you want to do? Like, and
so
then,
I want to get in. I want to get into tech.
see, Dad, that's what I'm saying. I want to get into tech. That's something vague too.
Yeah. So cybersecurity, but that cybersecurity is like that's vague within itself as well because tech is so large. There's so many, and if you
so that's what I'm trying to say is like you feel like it's like being hard for you, like you're dragging or something, right? I'm saying what I see as your friend is that every time it just seems vague. If you're more and clear, precise with the actual goal, like something clear and precise, maybe that'll help you aim better at it.
Okay.
Or at least find the community that shares that common specific goal, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like the things you've said have just been vague. So it's like, it's hard to find a crowd if like you're being vague.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't think I'm currently searching for like, I think answering the question, I don't think that's currently in my life. No, I don't think I'm surrounding myself with people. But if I was searching for that, maybe I'd find it.
Right.
I'm not currently searching for it. So I think to answer John's question is that's why the vagueness exists is because currently I'm not trying to build that or I'm not trying to search. I'm not trying to look for people to be because I'm currently learning about it.
You're getting an idea of like where you want to go.
Do I want to even if I surround myself with people in that field, what if I stop doing it when I go into another field? You know what I mean? I have that sense of community there, but it's almost like trading. I built up a community of traders and got around them, and then stuff just fell out, and we all just went our different ways. And it was like, that's cool.
It can be rebuilt.
Absolutely. You know? Absolutely.
If cybersecurity is your thing, start it, and then you will come across people that do similar things, whether it's online or in person. Even maybe take a class at school where you can meet these people that are like-minded and want to do this. That's where you'll find that sense of community. Just start. Right. Because sometimes we got to take a walk in the dark before the lights turn on. So, you know, I feel you because it's tough to surround yourself with people at the top of your game if you're still trying to figure out what your game is. Right. So definitely. Thanks for sharing. How about you, David?
I think I'm, from my point of view right now, I'm surrounded by people that I don't know if they're at the top of the game, but they're very skilled in ways that I'm not, and they understand a lot of things that they share with me. So it helps me, and I'm learning a lot. So even though they may not be, I don't know, let's say the best designers in Fresno or, you know, the best, you know, graphic designers or whatever, artists, I think the people that I'm surrounding myself who kind of fell into my co-working space and who I bounce ideas off of, they've been helping me a lot. And, you know, one person in particular, actually 2 people that I've met recently. They've been doing design for longer than I have. They know more programs, and they just have a lot of knowledge on like the history of it. So when we look at certain styles and fonts, they're like, oh yeah, that's, have you, this is sort of like this aesthetic, or this is from this area of, uh, I don't know, like a different state or something, because they've lived and did design over there. So to me, I'm like, you're pretty valuable as a person to just, I can ask you questions. And to me right now, I am surrounding myself because you're the person who knows the most out of everybody that I know. So I would say yes, in a way.
Okay. Are you planning on bringing those people closer to you?
Yeah.
David, I love the way you answer that, man. I really like the way you answer that. I wanted to circle back when you're finished because I love the way you answered that.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yeah. What was the question, Jay? I'm sorry.
How do you have plans on bringing them closer into your like work circle?
Well, we're pretty close right now, so that's why I feel pretty blessed to like be able to, one person who doesn't work with me anymore, she just hits me up for coffee sometimes, and we just talk about like design, and we like geek out and nerd about it.
There you go.
And so she gets to shoot me information, and then I listen, because she's actually the step above where I want to be eventually. So she's shares information that she's learning to hold that positions. So I think it's super cool. And yeah, like I think right now, you can always just go online and look up like the best person at this level, and they share you a bunch of information too. But learning one-on-one with someone who's skilled or has greater knowledge and experience than you in that certain area, I take everything they're saying like in as much as I can, like a sponge. Take some things with a grain of salt, but take things that they're saying and learn from them. It's kind of like that quote that we learned from last time. It's like,
a wise man.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
A fool learns from his own experience. A wise man learns from others' experiences.
Yeah.
So just to hit off what David said, I love the way he was like, maybe he can't say for sure if they're like the top of the food chain, but they know more than him. So that's like a step, right?
Yeah.
Just to circle back to the teacher thing, the people around me, they're teaching me so much. Like there's so much shit I don't know how to do, like on Canvas and like braiding and stuff like that. So on that note, I love the way you answered. You're like, they can definitely all teach me something. So I want to utilize that. So I just like the way you spun that, because I thought to myself, I was like, I'm learning so much from these people. I can't say for sure if they're the top of the food chain, but a lot of them know a lot more than me about how to do this thing, So you put a good positive spin on it. I like that.
Yeah. Thank you guys for sharing. So we'll move on to the next question. How can we torch complacency that is surrounding us? So I'll start on this one. How can we torch a complacency that surrounds us? So I think it's kind of a dangerous, it's a thin line, maybe not dangerous, but like with Goggins, when he was disappointed that people didn't want to live the warrior lifestyle that he wanted to live, he had to understand that it was on him, right? So for myself, how do I torch complacency? Not accepting, desiring average. So people that desire average lifestyles from my peers and family and friends. So for myself, it really was with school, not accepting, there's time and place for wanting to be average, but when it comes to geology, for me, that's not where it's at.
Right.
Gotcha.
So when somebody wants to be like, what does it take to get a C on this assignment? You're not in my study group. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're trying to shatter the grade book, but so just that would be for me when it comes to geology, not allowing people that just desire average results and average technique growth, any of that in my inner circle. And if they are, it's not going to be let's study and work together, because I don't want that rubbing off on me.
Gotcha. I would say for mine, keep it short, is the desire to remain uncomfortable. If I recognize that you don't really like to be uncomfortable, like you like to stay in your bubble all the time, I think that's kind of like where I recognize in myself. Like I think we all have that complacency in us. I don't think it's for like David Goggins is a fucking different beast. I don't know what planet he's from, but I think the more I can recognize that within myself, then I can separate and kill the complacency. I can set myself apart and torch it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just be comfortable remaining uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So
And I'm going to interject too. I've been watching videos on Goggins, and he says by the time we get to chapter 9, 10, 11, you forget where he came from, right? Goggins
Yeah.
isn't from another planet. He's from planet suffering,
Yeah.
right?
I
The
was
guy
just
is
thinking of like Planet
us.
Pain, bro. Planet
Yeah,
Pain.
he's just like us, but he put the work in.
Yeah.
And we can be just as good in our own aspect. We just have to put the work in,
Yeah.
right? So for people listening, David Goggins is not a different type of animal, a different type of beast from a different planet. He put in the work and became this animal, just like you can, just like we can. So don't,
You know,
don't try
it's
to
straight
let
up
that
like
slide.
most protagonists in any show. I'm thinking anime. Every protagonist starts out as like the lowest of the totem pole, and by the time
Right.
they make it to the top, people are like, "Wow, like he's
Yeah.
magical." It's like they totally forgot the first like 5 seasons of him grinding. You know?
Right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I'm thinking of My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
any
but-
fucking show,
Right,
Naruto, they're all
I was
like
just
that.
thinking
Yeah,
about
they're
that
all
too.
like that.
I was
Except-
thinking that too.
Yeah.
Straight up. Yeah, man.
How about you, John?
We're
How
gonna
can you
cut.
torch complacency.
We're gonna torch complacency.
And yourself, the people around you, your peers, your family.
I have been more hesitant and not as wanting wanting to go out as much recently with friends that I grew up with. Not because like I don't like hanging out with them, because I do. It's just I've realized that every time I do go hang out with them, I feel like it's the same shit we did 2 months ago. And it like irks, it gets under my skin, especially when I'm drinking. I'm like, we just did this shit, you know?
Mhm.
And then I think it's like, you guys do this every weekend. I only hang out with you guys like every once in a while, and I feel like it's always the same shit.
Right.
And then when I hang out with my like when I do my own thing, I feel like I have so much new experiences, and I'm just starting to like maybe just doing my own thing more, you know? And I'm realizing that I try to invite my friends to go do those things with me, and they're like, I don't know. And then instead now I'm like, whatever, I'm still gonna go send, you know?
Right.
Whether it's solo dolo or not. Like I went out to this music show by myself and ended up like having a great time, like running into people. So I just crave new, you know? So maybe I'm being more hesitant about doing the same thing over and over again. So I would say that.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. How about you, David? Where can you torch complacency that surrounds you?
Man, I thought about that before the episode today. I was just sitting really like thinking about it, and I thought of it more in like a literal term. I'm gonna sign up for this master class by Jeff Koons, because it talks about being an artist and stuff, and just the valuable information's there. And I think what brought me to even like attempt to answer it in that way today, because lately I've been feeling like John. You know, I think I just want to kind of keep my circle small, and then, you know, I'll do this thing, but if nobody wants to come with me, cool, I'm gonna do it anyways. You know, if nobody wants to run with me, I'm gonna run anyways. And I don't know, I'm finding a lot of, you know, as you get older, you don't want to be doing the same shit again, or at least some people do, but not for me. You know, I've been doing the whole going out every weekend thing. You know, it's fun, but got to keep things at a minimum sometime, and sometimes retrace, you know, where your life's going and where you want to go and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I've been feeling a little complacent lately, not gonna lie. And I think sometimes you get in that mind state when you feel like you're not learning anything new. So I've been telling myself I always wanted to sign up for, you know, an online course just to up my knowledge in design or art or something online where these things are easily accessible. And master classes look dope. And I feel like I've been lacking in my art area recently ever since my show's been over. So I was like, how cool would it be just to sign up for something, pay for the education, and learn that on the weekends instead of
Yeah.
just being like, oh, I can't wait to go off work so I can go have a drink or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
That's great, man. I love to hear it.
Yeah, for real. I'm excited to hear about it. All right. So moving on, what obstacle can we put in front of ourselves to make us grow stronger? So I'll go first. I have two. I've recently put running in front of me, but now I want to up the game. Last week, the past 2 weeks, I want to do 10 miles a week. I've done that. So I'm going to up it. David Goggins says up it 10%. I'm going to up it 100%. We're gonna do 20 miles. You know what I mean? So we're gonna do 20 miles this week. I'm gonna do 20 miles this week, and whether we're gonna run tonight or air quality's bad. You'd be so surprised how many times I heard this past week, like, you don't want to run, the air quality's bad. I get it, it's bad or whatever, but like, what would Goggins do? You know what I mean?
Dude, there was this time when I was living in Cali when it was so bad and I went for a run and I got back and for real, my chest was on fire. Like I thought I was like, maybe that was a dumb call, dude. Like, I was like, maybe that was a bad call.
It's been like orange at worst over here though. You know what I mean? So
I still went and hit the bomb too. I was like, fuck it. Like, what's one more puff gonna do?
And then the second one I have is field mapping. So, I've been trying to get people to come along with me. It's December 18th through the 23rd of, and right before Christmas, first week of winter break, but everybody's like, I don't know my schedule. So I don't want to go alone because I might get, we're not just walking on a trail. You know what I mean? We're walking up trails. We're climbing up the side of hills. We're like exploring off trail. There's possibility to get hurt, Yeah. So I've talked to people and a lot of people seem like, I can't make it, or I don't know what my schedule's looking like. I'm like, look, December 18th through 23rd, I'm giving you right now months in advance. So if it's possible, you can tag along, cool. But it's looking like, if I need to kind of throw an obstacle in front of me and I want it to be field mapping and becoming really good in geology, I need to accept the fact that it might be alone, right? So that's the obstacles I'm throwing in front of me: running, going to the gym more, climbing, going to the gym, and field mapping vigorously. So that's what I'm going to be working on for my obstacles.
Jay, do you got that satellite thing that can like ping where your location's at?
The sat phones? Yeah, I have one. I need to use that.
That's something, if no one goes with you, or if you ever want to push yourself more, because trust me, hiking alone, especially like during like rough terrain or something, stuff can happen.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
At least you could have that as like some insurance policy for yourself. You can like, I'm fucking right here. Someone's come save me.
Right. That's very true. So I'm gonna start. If that's the case, then that's the case. But that's what it's looking like in this December. So yeah. All right. How about you, Dev?
Mine would be going through these courses. I have a bunch of courses that I'm going through right now, just on the fundamentals and understanding cybersecurity, and then implementing more of a, I don't know what you would call it, more of a breaking this plateau. How do I break this like flat fucking, like I got to a point in my physique or my physical like routine where I don't know how to get out of it. So I need to figure out how to get out of that shit. If it's using the program David's on, I'm paying for that for monthly, developing a very structured and disciplined workout routine and that I stick to, right? Not writing stuff down, reps, everything. Doing the one that you just told me, researching that, and just creating my own or signing up for one. I think those are my main focuses right now, and just normal day stuff. You know what I mean? Just staying up to date with everything, staying disciplined with my wake up schedule, going to sleep on time. So
okay, wake up schedule, workout routine to attack plateau, cybersecurity courses. Yep. Okay. How about you, John?
Right now, work, I'm going to try to tackle a bunch of projects at once with these students, and we're going to see if we can get them all done. Multiple people have suggested that we do these projects, and if I can make it all work out, it's going to be a big home run for the Innovation Center, for myself, for the students, for the school, and other people that will help along the way. So it kind of seems like I kind of might have bit off too much that I can chew, but I'm going to still try to send it. So I'm going to just try to make it work. I promised the kids we could do this fun project, and I also told 2 administrators that we'll do these 2 other projects. So I'm going to still just try to all make it work out.
Hell yeah, man. All right. How about you, David?
Can you repeat the question? It was obstacles.
What obstacles can you put in front of yourselves to make you grow stronger?
Right. So it's like what I said earlier. I thought of it in terms of literal, just the only way I'm going to challenge myself or put strategic obstacles in front of me is sign up for courses or upping my knowledge. I have this idea, like if I went back to school right now, I would be grinding so hard in the library, just studying and reading by myself. Sounds peaceful. Sounds like I'd be learning, so
it's open to the community.
I know, just saying that. I was like,
your library
right now.
Henry Madden?
Oh yeah, you're welcome in there.
Straight up.
Straight up, bro. You can rent a conference room.
All right. Well, I need a bike so I can just bike over there.
Hell yeah, bro.
Damn. I for some reason. Wow. Thank you for telling me that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
That
welcome.
sounds awesome. Now
Let me
so I
know
can
when
go
you're on
back.
campus. We can get a coffee.
Yeah, I want to do that. Sign up for master classes or something where I'm getting very valuable information that I have to pay for. I don't mind now because it sounds fun to me to really just study and be in the zone,
Yeah.
like for real.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And just to touch back on how the thing I mentioned, how it'll challenge me is that if I can get this stuff done, I think I'll be a better teacher by next year about managing time, making curriculum, etc.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
All right.
Can't
Hell yeah.
wait.
All right. So last week we told you guys challenge 8 was a 3-part challenge. So this past week was part 1, where we were tasked with analyzing our schedules and trying to understand where in our lives we can take time from quadrant 4. For those of y'all that remember 7 Habits of Highly Effective People or have read it, or just time we're wasting doing things that are not urgent and not important, that we can take time from that and apply them to being more productive in our daily lives. So what we're going to do is we're going to share one aspect in our lives that we analyzed throughout the week that we could take time from and how we're going to apply that moving forward. And next week, what we're going to do is come to the table with an optimal schedule, primed for productivity, primed for growth. And so today we're going to just touch on that. And then next week, we'll come with a further in-depth schedule of how we're going to become better and grow and build our schedules around the perfect, most optimal schedule for that.
Right.
So I'll start this week. And this is a little embarrassing, but this past week from October 5th to October 9th, I spent 15 hours, 42 minutes, and 19 seconds on YouTube. That is 39.2% of my phone usage time. Now, that is more than half of a day. That is ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm noticing, okay, here's a little excuse. So I use it as I run as well. So when I'm running, it's also on, and I listen to David Goggins where he's like, "Man up, soak it up." You know what I mean? So I listen to that, but I'm gonna give that maybe like an hour, and that's kind of being conservative. But let's say I run 20 minutes a day, roughly for a week. That's 7. That's an hour. That's 140 minutes. That's a little over 2 hours, right? So that still keeps me at 13 hours of YouTube time.
Yeah.
Right. That is not acceptable. That's not acceptable for myself. So what's going to happen? I'm thinking about disabling the app completely and deleting
What do
it
you
from my phone.
what do you use YouTube for? Are you just
Podcasts on the
Kevin's-
background, or my biggest thing, dude, and the one that really needs to get gone is, you guys will scroll, like John was saying, to do TikTok or whatever. I'll be like, just one more video.
Don't you say I scroll through TikTok. You know that's not true. No, that's not true.
I'm just
Actually, my fucking kids torch me at school. Because I make fun of them about TikTok, and they're like, I bet you scroll through Instagram. I was like, what does that mean? Are you calling me old?
No.
Yeah, it's like saying someone scrolls through Facebook. I'm like, get the fuck
Right.
out of here.
Yeah, you goddamn geezer.
Yeah. All right.
So,
sorry. Jack.
That's that. I'm like, just one more video, and then I'm like,
Suggested
I'll
videos.
look for a video that's 8 minutes or shorter, 10 minutes or shorter. I don't know, this one look kind of good. It's like 34 minutes. You know what I mean? And so I end up clicking on them, and I just sit there and I'll watch the video, and I'll be like, all right, after this video, I'm gonna do my homework, or after this video, I'm gonna do fill in the blank.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, hey, look at that one. It's just a black hole, or just those things that I'm catching myself. And there was a while there when school started up, and it was just an immediate tornado, right? It was like, here's the tornado, figure it out. I just didn't do YouTube, right? And I really was productive because I had those 15 hours extra a week. And so what I'm thinking about doing is I really want to keep it available to use for running, because I do find benefit in hearing David Goggins just kind of chew at your mental, So what I'm going to do is, there's a way on this app to shut down the app after a certain amount of usage per day, right? So let's say I'm running 20 minutes a day. I'll give myself, I don't know, I'll figure that out, an hour. That's still a lot of time. 30 minutes, 40 minutes. I don't know. I'll come back next week with an optimal schedule for it. But I'm gonna dwindle my YouTube use because if I can get even 10 more hours a week to be productive, my life would be so much better.
Do you find it to be distracting, or do you just find it to be like a nuisance that you have so much time on YouTube?
A nuisance or distraction? Distraction, because I have things I gotta do. Right.
So it takes time away from those things.
Right. So like I'm have it on while I'm cooking breakfast, and then the video go a little longer than breakfast. Finish
Oh,
eating
I
it.
see
You know
it.
what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, I'll finish
Yeah.
this. So there's time that's wasted.
Yeah.
Precious time in the morning, right? I mean,
Mhm.
that's when I feel like I'm the most productive. So I'm gonna attack that. I'll come next week with an optimal schedule for how that's gonna work. So 15 hours is a little embarrassing, but that's something I'm gonna work on. And next week I'll come with an optimal amount,
Week, yeah.
and it won't be
Yeah.
0. I'm just gonna be real with you.
I don't think anyone. I would say for mine, my normal schedule this past week, I've been already eating at optimizing my just daily routine from waking up at 5, waking up at 6 o'clock, checking the charts, getting up to trading, working on my funded account. Like, I think my routine has become I'm up at 5 o'clock every day now, where it's like I don't even think about waking up that early because I'm already in bed around 9:30, 10 o'clock anyway. It's like I'm already tired around that time, so it's easy for me to wake up around that time now. But I would say the biggest thing that has helped me with staying consistent and being disciplined with task or staying on top of my schedule, like that I've written out for the week, is removing social media. And it took me like literally deleting TikTok and deleting Instagram, not just like logging out. The only ad that I do have Instagram still logged on my phone for Paradyme for our account. Because if we all are logged out of Paradyme, like who's keeping up with like,
It'll deactivate.
yeah. So I don't want to run into that. So I think that's the biggest because same thing like with you, like even sometimes even Netflix, I might not like when I eat breakfast, I'll sit down and like watch Netflix and start getting ready for DoorDash, and like it has 25 more minutes left.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I don't watch it.
yeah.
I
Or it's
watch
like it's ending and the new episode's about to start. And I'm like, fuck, I'll just watch the new episode. Like, and then and it's like so stuff like that. So I know what you're talking about.
yeah.
Or if it's TikTok, that's why I had to delete TikTok because I would just be like, all right, I'm gonna take a 12-minute break and just watch, and then just keep going after 12 minutes, and it goes into 30, 35, 40. And so I think that's social media. I gave myself a quarter break. So from October to December into 2022 is when I'm going to pick it back up and see where I might not even be interested in it by that time, but I really want to use it for just business and building the brand and building myself socially, not to just be on there scrolling all fucking day.
Okay.
So that's where I stand with my schedule.
Hell yeah. How about you, John?
Yeah, so how to optimize my schedule. One thing, because I know this was our first week charting it, I already saw one way I could save time was I drive to the dog park every day after work. It's not that far. It's like 1.6 miles. Ace and I have just started the run to the dog park every day. After doing it for a week, I'm not sure if doing it every day is the best. I kind of think it's too much for Ace. We'll see. But even if I do it 3 times a week, it's a better use of my time.
Yeah.
Just after like a quick glance over my week, I fall in the same boat with you guys. I find myself like in the morning after I eat, I'll just be scrolling my phone because I don't want to get up yet, you know? And I know I got stuff to do, but like I'll be like, I'm looking at stuff for stocks. Like that's my excuse in my head, right? I'm just fucking scrolling through Twitter, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Or like I'm watching Netflix and I'm like, okay, I'll do this after this episode. And it's like, now play next episode. I was like, all right, well, shit was kind of a banger. I'll watch this next one too. So like, I know that.
What are you watching?
I just finished rewatching Demon Slayer and it was so fucking good, man. I was like, this is such a good show. And the new episode's about to drop. I'm like super excited about it.
In the new season? Yeah,
the new season.
I have to just grind that one out and then I'll be optimal.
yeah, dude. Fuck, like,
Nah. But yeah.
Hell yeah. All right.
So
Thanks for sharing. How about you, David?
Same boat as Dev. I think I might take a quarter break from IG. I still have TikTok, but I know I'm wasting time on my phone. I know for a fact. I used to be in the YouTube rabbit hole too, and that one just slowly started getting easier on me.
Yeah.
You know, because I'll just find myself at night watching, black hole videos on paradoxes and
Yeah.
like, just speed of light and just like random sci-fi stuff.
Yep.
Or, just whatever, man. And so I know I need to cut my phone off because when I'm on my way to do certain tasks in my own apartment, I'll just check my phone for some reason. And I know that I'm addicted to like Instagram because I'll open my phone and be like, where's Instagram? I'm like, oh shit, I don't have Instagram anymore. So that's a clear sign of like, maybe I was on it too much because normal things that I would do around the house would entice me to check my phone while I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Even when I go, to the bathroom, take a dump, I'm on TikTok for like at least
That's a big thing,
15,
too,
20
for me.
minutes.
So you
and
get
I'm
the
like,
red dots on your
yeah,
leg
always
from
got
That's
legs
why
fall asleep,
I
bro.
had to delete that shit. Because every time I go to the bathroom, I'm on it for like 30 minutes. I ain't got to take a shit no more. I'm just sitting there like scrolling like.
Yeah. Or for me, I do take breaks, like little breaks still on TikTok. I've been getting a little bit better because I do like TikTok because sometimes I learn some cool stuff on it. It's just that discipline of like, all right, I've watched like maybe 5 videos, get back to work or something. So
Yeah, that educational TikTok shit is funny. My kids are like, they've gone down the welding TikTok rabbit hole, and they're like, Mr. Gross, can we do this? I was like, bro, what is this shit? What are you guys showing me?
That's awesome. Yeah, so for some reasons I think TikTok's cool, but most of the times I just my page is just straight memes and just the worst stuff possible. Oh yeah.
All those videos.
Dude, because we just brought up like how we're all the same way. I gotta take a shit. I'm not like, I'm on my phone, dude. Like cause once you put the phone away, you gotta get up and wipe. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're just trying to chill.
Bro.
I thought about it. I was just camping. Bro, when you gotta take a shit in the woods, there is no like sitting around. You take a shit and you're out of there. You know what I'm saying? You're like, it's a mission.
But imagine, when I had Instagram and TikTok, it was like double whammy, bro. I'd be on the toilet for like at least
An hour.
45 minutes sometimes. Be like, what am
Butt
I
cheeks
doing with my
tired
life,
and
yo? So definitely time to cut out of my phone. And sometimes I'm just scrolling through music just to find new music. Sometimes I think that's just a waste of time because I don't want to get started on work in the morning. So I took a lot of time writing out my optimal schedule, like in 15, 30-minute chunks. So hopefully this next week I can really learn something about what I can do with my time if I am just laser focused and take little breaks throughout the day.
Yeah. Hell yeah. All right. And with that, that concludes chapter 9, titled Uncommon Among Untitled. This is from the book Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. We highly recommend you pick up this book. It has been such a big inspiration to us, and we know it will be a big, big inspiration to you guys, so go pick it up. So before we take off, we want to remind you to subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment down below. How can you have an optimal schedule? We want to know because maybe we can institute these things in our life. Make sure before you take off, look down in the description below. All of our socials will be on there. Follow us. We want to stay in contact with you guys. All right. And before we take off, one last thing. Don't forget, the work you put in now equals who you will be tomorrow. Paradyme signing off.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.